You must listen to yourself today. The biggest asset you have is your attention, and we live in a modern economy where our digital overlords are making fortunes out of us by controlling our attention, by selling our attention, our eyeballs, our ears, to marketers at Amazon. And I love Amazon, at Facebook, and I love Facebook, and YouTube, and Google, and Instagram, and Netflix. Everyone is going after your eyeballs, your attention. And it's extraordinarily easy to go through every waking moment surrounded by other people's ideas, other people's content, other people's information, what other people want you to look at. The problem is, if you do that, you can't really listen to yourself. You cannot listen to other people's ideas, other people's content, and listen to your own brain foment ideas, gestate ideas, play with ideas. All you can do is react and absorb other people's ideas. So it is critical, it is absolutely critical, I believe, if you want to be a successful person, an intelligent person, a well-rounded person, a well-adjusted person, and a fulfilled person, to carve out certain sections of your time each and every day so that you can only listen to yourself. And what I mean by that is time when you're not looking at any screen. And I do realize there's a certain irony here because I'm asking you to look at this screen right now and listen to me. But I do want you to figure out, even put it on your schedule, set times every single day when you can just listen to yourself, that own voice in your head telling you what you think about the world, ideas, your profession, your personal life. Listen to yourself. So many people get obsessed with the idea, I can't possibly be bored for even 1 second. The second I get up, I have to look at email. The second I get up, I have to check social media. The second before I go to sleep, I have to see how many likes my most recent post got on Instagram. And what that does is it just destroys your ability for your own brain to communicate with you, for your own brain to even create new ideas. And it makes you and me willing pawns in other people's games, in other people's life success stories. Now, I have no problem with other people being successful, and yes, Mark Zuckerberg deserves to be a billionaire. But I don't just want to help other people. I want to help you and I want to help me live our own lives. We can't do that if we don't sit down and fundamentally listen to what's going on in our own brain, listen to our own ideas percolating up. So let me give you some very practical tips of how I do this. And so much of it just revolves around carving out time where you know you're not going to be looking at a computer, at a cell phone, a screen, an iPad, or even listening to music. You're going to be listening to yourself. That is key. So I'll just walk you through a typical day of mine. For starters, early in the morning, after I get up, to have 1 cup of coffee, no sugar, I will meditate. Now, this is a slight aberration from the other things I'll tell you about, because I do have headphones on. I am plugged into my cell phone, but I'm listening to a meditation tape that I made in my own voice, where all I'm doing is telling myself to breathe in, breathe out, to relax, think of nothing, and just focus on my breathing. It's just 10 minutes long, but it's a classic meditation technique where I'm trying to just clear my mind, not think of anything. Do other thoughts pop in? Sure. It's about trying to push them away and to just focus on the breathing in and breathing out. So that is one part of my day right at the beginning where I'm not looking at any other screens. I'm not letting anyone else's ideas in my brain. I am just meditating. Absolutely an important way to kick off my day. Now, typically, after I do this show with you, I try to do a 1-hour walk without a cell phone, seeing nature. Some people could call this a meditative walk. I don't know if it's that intense, but the whole point is I'm in my own thoughts. And I take a little pad, I think I have one right here. I just take an old-fashioned piece of paper, a pad, and a tiny little pen, and when I have ideas, I write them down. So that's one of the most important parts of my day, is going for that walk hour and 15 minutes a day. It's great exercise too, but this is where I can listen to myself come up with creative ideas. Absolutely critical. Now, you might not have the time or interest in walking for an hour and a half a day. For you, it could be just sitting in a chair, closing your eyes, and not listening to any kind of music or sound or looking at any screens. There's different ways of doing it. I relax in a hot tub with the bubbles on full blast. I try to do that for 15 minutes a day. This, I have found, helps me sleep a lot better. I used to, when I'm in the hot tub, check iPads and cell phones and make calls and all sorts of things. Now I don't do that. I give this time to myself to just think, relax, focus on big picture issues, reflect, and listen to myself. Now, moving towards the end of the day, you've heard me mention this before, in order to foster good sleep and sleep patterns, I do not look at any cell phone, any screen, any electronics 1 hour before going to bed, typically 9 o'clock at night. I then read a book. Now, that's not completely listening to myself, because I am looking at the ideas that someone has put forth in a book. But at least I'm getting away from screens. And it's a more contemplative experience to look at a book. You can stop, think, write down a note. And then the final act, in many ways the most important act, is once I go to sleep, absolutely no electronics in the bedroom. I don't have a cell phone, I don't have an iPad. Well, TJ, how are you possibly going to wake up if you don't have your iPhone alarm right there? Well, guess what? I go to bed in time so that I can wake up naturally. I'm not shortchanging my body's natural rhythm of when it needs to sleep and wake up. So you don't need an alarm clock if you actually go to bed at the right time. Are there medical exceptions? Sure. But the vast majority of the world, I would venture 99% of the world, if you just went to bed when you should, you won't ever need an alarm clock. Therefore, you won't need that cell phone in your bedroom. Electronics free, no screens in the bedroom. So that's really 9 hours, because it's the hour before I go to sleep, and then 8 hours of sleep. So when you add it all up, there's a lot of time every single day when my brain has the luxury of not being bombarded by other people's ideas from cell phones, from laptops, from iPods, from iPad, I'm dating myself, iPads, and TV screens. This allows me to listen to myself, to come up with my own ideas, to figure out what's important to me, to try to plan my own lifestyle, to design my own lifestyle, to figure out what habits do I want to keep, what do I want to get rid of, what do I want to create new for you, so that you've got new courses and books that I have to offer to help you, which also helps me. And that's why I believe it's critical for everyone, for me, for you, and anyone who wants some semblance of sanity in this world, to carve out time where they can listen, where you can listen just to yourself. You cannot listen to yourself and be listening to other voices coming from the black mirror, from your cell phone, from any other electronic device.